that lobbying should be legal? What do lobbyists do and why should or shouldn't it be legal?
Well, lobbying should be legal because it's part of free speech. But at the same time, some lobbyists get a little carried away. So maybe there should be regulations put on the type of lobbying. Maybe not a law completely against lobbying, but perhaps just some regulations.
What do you think about the Michelle Carter case? What should be the punishment for involuntary manslaughter?
I think the Michelle Carter case is very sad what happened. And I think that it is very unfortunate that she did not tell anybody. I'm not sure that she can be punished, though, for his death. There comes a point when the person who has committed the act has to be the one who's held accountable. So I think I probably would say that she should not be charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Statues around the United States are being taken down. What is your opinion on the removal of historical statues?
My opinion about that is depending on the original intent for raising those statues in certain southern states. Some of those statues were meeting points for the KKK, and I feel like in minority groups at that time, those were points of fear put in the city center of the public. And I feel like now that those are serving, they serve different purposes, but they still have that resounding effect. They are historical pieces, but just because they are taken down doesn't mean we will stop learning about the Civil War. In Germany, they don't put up anything having to do with Nazism or Hitler or anything. They took down all the statues, all the propaganda, all the signs, flags, everything. And most of that's been preserved in museums to continue the education of atrocities done by our own countries. But I don't think they should be demolished. I think they should be put in museums to preserve a part of our history, not erase it.
Should we put more sanctions on North Korea for their missile tests, and what would these be?
I don't think that we should put more sanctions, only because the sanctions aren't working. So.
What is an example of civil liberties? What about civil rights?
Okay, so an example of civil liberties would be a right that the government cannot pass a law to infringe upon. So freedom of speech, for example, is a civil liberty that we have. We can say what we want. Most recently, examples of that coming up have been the issues in Charlottesville, where protesters were expressing their freedom of speech, which is our right that we cannot be judged based on their gender or on our race.
What is your opinion on sanctuary cities? Should immigrants with bad backgrounds be protected in these cities?
I'm a big believer in sanctuary cities because I've spent a long time living in the developing world where people are very. However, having said that, I do think that people with bad backgrounds should be sanctioned and with a criminal record.
What is your stance on how the U.S. can prevent terrorist attacks?
We don't want to sacrifice our values. I think that if we behaved ourselves in a slightly different manner, then we would not be the target of other people.